If you were to meet a magical genie and were given 3 wishes, what would you wish for? Obviously, the answer most people come to is to wish for more wishes, which is why genies would often give the rules such as
3 wishes to be exact, and ixnay on the wishing for more wishes. That's it. 3. 1, 2, 3. No substitutions, exchanges, or refund.
But even despite such stipulations, people still try to find loopholes to get around this. Like the thing I'd always say as a stupid answer is, well, if I can't wish for more wishes, why don't I just wish for more genies? However, what if you only had 1 wish? No extras, no wishing for more wishes, no wishing for more genies, and no tricks to get around this fact. Then you'd really have to make this one count. And depending on who you are, it might affect what you wish for. Maybe if you're a teenager in high school, you wish that everyone had liked you. If you're middle-aged, you might wish that you had chosen a different path in life. And if you're an elder, maybe you wish you were able to relive your glory days. I don't know, I'm not that old. But what if a kid was given a wish? What would they want? The game Night Reverie, made by indie team Somber Pixel, is about a kid who wishes on his shooting star every chance he gets. But we don't exactly know what he wishes for. Could be he wished for world peace, or maybe he wished for world domination, no clue. What we do know about him is that he's just a young kid, with an even younger sister named Emma. The story takes place after Matt attempts to make a wish, in which after he goes to sleep, he is then suddenly transported to another house somehow. But for some reason, it looks exactly like his own house. But there's clearly something not right. Not only is he missing his sister Emma and has no clue where she is, the house now has talking animals, unusual landmarks, and everything has this fantastical dreamlike feel that seems conjured straight from a child's imagination. If you've ever seen the movie Coraline, you'll have an idea of what I'm talking about. They have a very similar basis. Coraline, the main character, too curious for her own good, finds her way into this mirrored version of her own world. It now has this absurd mysticality to it. Despite that, there's clearly something wrong. We both have the same premise, but Night Reverie isn't nearly as creepy and or traumatizing for children. I mean, comparably, this game is honestly kind of adorable. There's no monster hunting you down the entire game or stressful fight sequence that determine the fate of your party. The game is mostly comprised of little puzzles. And they're extremely simple puzzles. Like, oh, there's a fire that needs to be put out, and you have a bucket. What puts out fire? Water, of course. So you use the bucket to get water and put out the fire. Brilliant. I mean, it's easy and simple. Like, look, I'll be honest with you. Out of all the different puzzles that this game has, for some reason, I cannot figure this one out. Like, I was thinking that there was some elaborate solution that maybe I missed something big. But no, the puzzle is simple as that. And if you do play this game, I recommend not doing what I did and overthinking literally everything. Just enjoy it. It's calming and a casual experience that's intention is to not destroy the player's brain with complicated puzzles. It's nowhere near as difficult as puzzle games like Baba Is You. Because literally any puzzle in that game, after just looking at it for a little bit, I always end up thinking to myself, man, I don't know how to do any of this shit. It's probably one of the most childish games I've ever played that isn't entirely targeted towards children. And when I say childish, I mean that in quite literally the best way possible. Not childish in the sense that it's annoying or immature, but rather it's more innocent and dreamful. It's childish in a way that makes the story understandable for anybody who wants to play or experience the story. And while it doesn't seem like there's much of a story to really experience with how much emphasis there is on the puzzle aspects, there is in fact a coherent story being told through the characters you meet. Other than the 2 siblings, there's all these animals, a bunny, a bear, a dog, and a pig that you meet and talk with. There's also a massive pink cat, and just who doesn't love that? It's just cute. Even cuter, the first person you meet when entering the world is this little fire dude, which is described as a cosmic being. Isn't that just adorable? But as you meet new people and solve their problems, you're given an opportunity to talk to them and get a little closer to finding out why everything is happening in the first place and a little closer to finding Matt's sister. And the characters you talk to, despite being all cute animals, all have something very surprisingly real to say. The characters in this game aren't just a tool to help progress the story, but they take the time to sit down with the player and actually talk. And while the characters aren't entirely fleshed out or these intricate, complex figures, in the short time span that this game takes to finish, they have a way of showing their personality and talking about a problem they have in such a heartfelt way that inevitably relates back to the story. This dog, named Tabby, suffers for some reason an immense feeling of guilt. This bear, despite being this distinguished-looking gentleman and having the cool name of Sir Bernard Brown Abbott, always feels as though he's alone. There's this bunny named Blinky who always feels anxious and scared, and a pig named Pancita who always feels uncontrollably mad. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm reading the words from a talking animal and that I just find that charming and more impactful than it should be, but seeing certain subject matters displayed through a childish lens is intriguing, and not something I expected at all while playing this game. I expected a puzzle game that I can play to decompress and relax, and I got that. But I also got a lot more than I bargained for. In between the colorful atmosphere and magical setting, there's a story that's subtly revealed the longer you play. A very real story about a brother and a sister. A story of fear, loneliness, guilt, and anger. A story about wishing things were different. As much as I made a big deal at the beginning of this video about wishes, that's honestly not entirely what the game is about. And it's kind of crazy how many different things that this game does explore in such a short period of time. But while Matt's wish is not the central and main focus of the game, it is definitely something that stuck with me after I played. So out of all the things that Matt could have wished for, what was it? And simply, he wished that his little sister Emma was happy. At the start of the game, we know barely anything about this sister, other than that she matters to Matt. And without sounding too redundant, I think that's all that matters. But as you get further into the story, you find out why he chose such a wish. He didn't choose something that would benefit him solely, but he chose something for someone else. And that just hits my heart. Normally, every time I'd ask someone, what would you wish for? It's always something that would change their life forever, or they would attempt to change the entire world. I mean, if you only had one wish, why wouldn't you change the entire world? But being able to just change one person's life for good is enough. And even if you try to change the world through one wish, who knows what unforeseen consequences come from wishing global change. You might argue that wishing for someone's happiness may also cause unpredictable results, but even the game addresses this, and in one segment would even debate what it even means to be happy in the first place. While it is a short game that can't possibly tell such a complex tale in 4 hours, it does find a way to absolutely punch the player in the gut with feelings in the end. I mean, I love the end of this game, and the message it shows is beautiful. Yet, after playing, I had so badly wished that there was more. More build-up, more character connections, more content in general. But of course, it was made by a small indie development team, only 4 people, and it would be selfish for me to expect so much more. I mean, for an indie game, just the pixel art alone already looks amazing. And if this game at all interests you, it's on Steam, and the demo itself is even free if you just want a sample. So if this is your kind of game, I wish that you can find the time to check it out.